Welcome to the Be About It podcast. My name is Ben Mercedes, and I'll be your host. We'll cover financial and crypto markets, real estate, and entrepreneurship. My goal is to inspire others to be about it and take action. In episode 8, I sit down with Aly Incardona and discuss how she quadrupled her income with photography prints. We'll discuss mindset and business moves along with social media strategy. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Yeah, so kind of just want to talk about like your journey as a photographer, as creative, and then getting into print, and then kind of what you offer. And I mean, just the idea that like you can charge for photography and then you can have all this upside on the print end, and like what that does for you, for your family, for your business, for your life. It's like it's still incredible to me. So I just want to talk about that. And I started this podcast. I come from an entrepreneurial family. I quit my day job a few years ago. And it's just been hustle and grind. And I know that there's like a lot of ways to make money. And I like to talk with, fellow entrepreneurs. It's kind of like life-giving. And I just want to, inspire people.
I love it.
Yeah,
and I love that we're having this conversation today, actually. And the funny thing is that this is actually coming up here in a week is an anniversary.
Sweet.
For the day that I closed my business. Awesome. As a shoot and burn photographer. I had worked.
Why don't you explain what that is? What's a shoot and burn photographer?
So shoot and burn photography is basically you pay a fee. So for example, my fee was $300 and you would receive 15 digital images. It was just kind of like shoot, deliver, on to the next. Mm-hmm. And I was at this crazy space where I felt like any clients who booked with me, that I like owed them something more than what I was giving them. Mm-hmm. And it led to just overpacking my calendar for 3 years between weddings and shoots. I did not take one day off. I worked every single day to build my business and my brand. And I ultimately was overworked and underpaid. And I couldn't figure out how I was working so much and still not even making enough to survive and keep my business going. Like, how come if I'm booked every day, am I not making an actual profit after it's all said and done? So it all kind of got to this boiling point. Everybody knows how COVID already went down and shutting everything down and all of that. Well, I shut down for COVID, which was a blessing for me because I had not had a day off, like I said, in years. I had sacrificed so much with my kids and my marriage was literally falling apart and I was done. I was mentally, physically just tapped out. The first couple weeks, I just slept like a rock. I didn't get up. I didn't move. I had no energy to give. And after that, the boredom kind of sinks in to like, let's clean out every closet. And once that kind of all started to like wear off, like, wow, I needed a break. The instant like terrified feeling set in, like, whoa, wait a second. I haven't worked in a month. I haven't brought anything to the table. The sky is falling. What's going on? And I'm sure every small business owner really felt that at that time. Terrified. But I took that for what it was. And like I said, the boredom kind of set in. So I dedicated all that time to just learning business and lighting and practicing on random things and my dog and bubbles and all sorts of weird things to try. And I just wanted to figure out who was I and why was I doing this? So I spent that whole time practicing over and over, trying all new things. And the world kind of just opened back up one day. And it was like, this is game time. This is go time. Go back to working every single day, every single minute of your life. Don't enjoy your kids anymore. You're trying to restore your marriage. Forget about it. Like, you get nothing again. And I, for the first time, just realized like, I'm giving my entire life to this business. And I really felt like it wasn't appreciated. And that's the most lonely and awful feeling ever when you're giving everything to something that's not serving you as a human. I just really felt so used and overwhelmed with everything. So I came back for about a month and I grind, 24/7 grind all over again. And I just broke down. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm working this hard for nothing. I see like a hard, I saw like a hard reality check. This is what you're missing out on. Like, look at your beautiful children. You have no time with them all over again. And it really was such an awful feeling. So I closed my business. I just, what I feel like it was like, that Britney Spears moment when she like is shaving her head in public. I
Mhm.
like jumped on
Mhm.
Facebook and I'm like, I hate all of you. Like you're
Mhm.
using me, you're taking advantage of me. We can barely make it. And I'm giving you guys literally
Everything.
everything. Yes, it was
Mhm.
so awful. Um, and I was just done. I was done with photography. I was done with owning my own business. I hated being the boss of things and feeling so used.
Yeah.
So I applied for some jobs. And this is where it
Nice.
got really interesting. I went in for an interview at like a broker firm for real estate. And I'm like thinking in the car, like, I got this. This is like my new beginning. I am
Mhm.
going to just reinvent myself and never think about photography again. So the first question she asks is, well, I see you've owned a business for 8 years. What are you doing here?
Mhm.
And I literally lost it. Like, I'm sitting at her
Midlife
desk.
crisis.
Yes, like
Yeah.
sobbing, like I couldn't even catch my breath, like, the snot and you're just like pulling it
Yeah.
up your arm, like, I don't know what to
Mhm.
do right now. And then she starts bawling. And she's
Mm.
like, I had a dream once. And she's like freaking out. She's like, no, I'm not hiring you. Absolutely not. I gave up my dream for this job. And as much as I love it, I hate being here.
Mm.
Go live your dream, go do your thing,
Mhm.
figure it out.
Yeah.
And I just left like, wait a second, I didn't
Empowered.
get that job. Like,
Mm.
what am I going to do? And I called my husband when I got in the car and I told him all about it. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, the sky is literally fallen. Like, there are no pieces left to come down. Like, my dignity, my pride, my business, and my studio, I was on the brink of losing it. Just everything. I was humiliated and I just didn't know what to do.
Mhm.
So I talked with him that night. This is my passion. This is what I love to do. And he agreed that we try one more time. And that was hard because I was hardcore fighting him. Like, I
Yeah.
cannot do this.
Mhm.
And I took a few days to just take a life pause, meditate, just tap into the law of attraction and positive affirmations and really like tap into my wholeness and kind of convince myself like, you're saying you can't do it, but you're speaking that into existence. And the more you say, like, this is hard, I can't do it, the more that becomes a reality for you.
Mm.
Um, so I just decided, like, right then, it was like a revelation in my garage. I was literally laying on the floor, like, laying there, sobbing, headphones in, like, listening to the creepiest music I've ever heard in my life. Like, you are worthy. Yes, I'm worthy. Like, wait, that's right. And I made the decision that I would restart my business on a new page without any of my old clients, which was really hard for me. But they were so used to the service I provided, which was like buy one, get one free, never pay, pay when you want to pay, show up late if you want, like always so accommodating and so flexible. There was no business plan. Um, I took as much time as I needed to kind of get myself back together. And after that, I decided to take some actual like business management courses because I'm not a manager.
Yeah.
Before I owned this business, I was a waitress. That's a big jump going from
Mhm.
serving a table to serving a community. And I just dove in. Okay, how does an actual business run? Um, and I just rebased and rebranded my whole business to what it is today. I decided that I would try print sales, which was something that my mentor for a long time has put on me. And he's like, if you ever want financial freedom, if you ever want to move forward and actually own your business and run it like a boss, you need to do things that a boss would do. But not only that, you're not even serving the clients that you have with value. And hearing that you're doing things, I guess, like wrong
Mhm.
is so like, I don't know, like it
Yeah.
strips you of your pride. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
doing it.
there's two belief sets. I mean, there's people who they don't really print photos and everything is
Yes.
digital to them. And so like us as photographers, we shoot whatever it is and we deliver and they have it on their phone, but it's like eventually that gallery is going to be gone. The server that hosts it will go offline. The business that,
Yeah.
provided it will close. And they're literally left with nothing. And so the idea of print, there are people who out there who are, as you mentioned, are all for it, and they're willing to spend money on it, and not $100, they're willing to spend thousands of dollars
Yes.
on wall galleries and albums. So I think that's amazing that you made that jump. Um, what was that transition like? How did you approach, I guess, that first sale? What are those details like?
Oh, super scared. Super, super scared. And honestly, I did stumble through the first few, but I started through a slow transition. I knew it wasn't going to be something that I can go from charging $350 to 1200
Mhm.
overnight.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because it literally almost happened overnight. When you believe you can do something, you just do it.
Mm.
And my first kind of shift was I would still charge the 350 for the 15 digitals, but
Okay.
I started presenting them with more around 30 to 40 and letting them know if you purchase any of these print packages, you get the entire gallery for free. I
Mm.
already did the work.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I started learning the side of print, kind of okay, if this costs $179 for them, what is my overall cost? How long is it going to take me to print it and ship it and pack it and everything? And what does that all kind of look like? So that was a really nice starting point to get my feet wet. I picked my packaging and my thank you cards, and I kind of decided on a brand and
Mhm.
how I would move forward with that. Um, Once I decided, okay, everybody's buying the prints, and I'm kind of wasting my own time with this whole spiel of, let me taunt you with a few extras.
Mhm.
I decided, especially since my work during COVID, I had practiced so much, my work has changed so much. And it went really from a basic outdoor at a park, everybody look at me and say cheese, to a fine art. And basic paper prints just don't do fine art justice. And I really saw that once I started seeing shipments come in of basic paper prints, canvas, acrylic. You see it on metal and you're just blown away. Like
Mm.
I did that. Was the greatest feeling. So I decided to make a shift and not only respect myself as an artist, but to provide even more value to my clients. They're already spending so much money on their hair, their makeup, my time coming to the studio, some people from hours away. And I want to make sure they're leaving with not only something that is beautiful, but something that best represents my work. So I had some time to discover that in the beginning. And then I decided to make the shift to where I am today, which is a shoot fee. It will be changing at the beginning of the year because I've done a lot of investments into my business to provide them with even more. But they pay the shoot fee and they get to use my client closet. I have Victoria's Secret style wings. All of my dresses are very, very beautiful. They get to
And you're
come in.
you're shooting
Yeah.
so portraits, maternity,
Yeah.
boudoir. Okay,
Mainly,
you're doing
mainly maternity right now.
okay, very cool.
I am taking a slight step away from boudoir, although I love it. Um, I feel like people's insecurities um, keep them from, I guess, the full experience.
Sure.
As we feel like maternity isn't so much, it is about them, but it's also about their baby, and they tend to
Hmm.
let loose of those insecurities a little bit. And I love that so
For
much.
sure.
So my main focus is maternity.
Very cool.
Um, Once they pay their shoot fee, it covers their time here. I have a ton of add ons, which make it even easier for them. They can add hair, they can add makeup, they can add um, add ons like throne chairs, whatever they envision. It's a one stop shop. They don't have to go multiple places to get it. They could just come here, which
Very
is
cool.
so amazing.
Is all
Um,
of that included in the shoot fee?
They do pay extra for hair,
Gotcha.
makeup, and the
Okay.
throne.
Got it.
Any like furniture pieces,
Cool.
they do pay a little bit extra for that.
Yeah,
But
it's a rental fee. I like it.
yeah,
I like it.
it's
Way to create another revenue stream.
serving not only me, but
Yeah,
it's serving other small businesses, which I
for sure.
love that. It's
Yeah,
keeping them very, very busy.
yeah, that's awesome.
Um, Great. And
So,
then
like the just for example, the throne chair. Do you have that on site, or do you work with a third party?
I
Perfect.
work with a third party.
Perfect.
And they're amazing, and they
Perfect.
offer multiple options, which is great.
That's
You
awesome.
know, people love options, and I love
Yeah.
having options too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Like
yeah,
it.
keep them busy. I mean, they don't like that we have stairs
Yeah. Yeah.
because they're lugging it up and down, but beyond that, we're good there.
Awesome.
Um, After their shoot, I edit everything, and then they come back in for a reveal session. And the reveal
Nice.
session's so fun. They get to watch a presentation, and it's just like I'm excited, they're excited, everybody's like,
Hmm.
anticipation is built up.
Hmm.
I try not to put up any previews or anything before then, so they
Yeah.
don't have any idea
Any
what they're about to see,
love it.
which is really hard because sometimes I want to show them right away.
Yeah. Yeah. And
But
then
when
the reveal you're doing, is that like on a TV or a projector?
I definitely do it on the TV. Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
I
Cool.
do it on the TV, and it's so great. They get to watch the little presentation, and then I let them look on a Pixie set gallery, which is great. And they can just slide right over and click around on the studio computer, and they can favorite all of the ones that they like, which sometimes is anywhere from like 10 to 15, and sometimes it's
Mhm.
the whole gallery. It depends on whatever they like.
Yeah.
And once they've kind of narrowed that down, then we can figure out what is best to print. They
Gotcha.
see um, with IPS, I think something that some people don't do is they keep their prices a secret until the end. And that's one way to do it. But
Mhm.
I believe in no pressure sales. So they know upfront that what the fee is and that they're going to have to purchase prints at the end. Digitals are not included.
Mhm.
The day of the session, I'm showing them samples. I have physical samples in the studio of
From their
metal.
shoot or
Not from
like
their
okay.
shoot,
Gotcha. Okay.
actual samples from previous
Gotcha.
shoots.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Metal, acrylic, canvas, albums, the leather, the acrylic cover album, and my folio box. And I
Nice.
also have some basic paper prints. Those don't include the digital gallery, but I'm reinforcing that from the beginning. If
Gotcha.
you do just a basic paper print, you're not going to get the digitals. If you do any of the luxury items, which is basically, I'm not pressuring anybody to do it, but it does serve the client the best because they're getting the most value, and it displays my work the most, the most fitting to my brand. So with any of those items, they are receiving the full digital gallery that they looked at, which is
Got it.
so great because, you look at something, you want it. That's how it goes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm honestly not selling anything. The prints are selling themselves. And I
Mhm.
have had the most incredible reviews since I started doing this. People just feel like this whole experience is amazing and very luxurious and
Mhm.
no pressure, and they love it. So
Yeah.
it's been amazing for me.
Yeah. For anyone listening, your work is amazing.
Thank you so
Your
much.
work is very good. I love your use of light. I love your colors. Some people listening might know I'm a photographer, follow me personally, etc. So yeah, I definitely really like your work.
Thank you.
Um, I guess what are in terms of like acrylic and metal, what do you print mostly? What are they usually ordering?
My two number one top sellers are going to be the metal package
Nice.
and the acrylic cover album, which the metal package starts around 995 before
Okay.
tax and shipping. After tax and shipping, it's around 1200.
Gotcha.
And my acrylic albums start at 800. They can add embossing, they can add extra spreads, which a lot of
Gotcha.
things they do. So it does go up from there, but it's very what's the word? It's very obtainable
Hmm.
for people to do this.
Yeah.
Um, my best advice for anybody wanting to even get started with this is just do it.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. I wasted so much time being scared.
Hmm.
And I hear from previous clients when they see me going live and they're like, wow, I wish I had that instead of what I printed at Walgreens. Because if they don't get it from you, they're going to get it
Yeah.
and they're
Typical.
not going to like it and it's not going to do your work justice.
Absolutely. Yes, he posts all the time. Clients printed something and there's green tones or green teeth or
Yeah.
this or that. I know some will take images to like Shutterfly or those kind of things, but it's like those albums aren't going to stand the test of time.
No, they're not.
And they do your work in injustice. Um, in terms of like pre-framing the conversations, if someone's in a position where they're shooting and burning, they're charging X amount, they're handing over 50 digitals and there's no print options, how would you suggest they kind of approach a new potential client and have that discussion of, hey, you're going to get digitals, you'll get the rights to print, and then also we can print for you? Or how would you approach that?
My first advice would be to completely not provide a printing right anymore.
Gotcha.
First of all, I would change to a strictly websites digital only format where you can absolutely print if you would like. I offer print options, period. I mean, if they don't even want to jump into in person sales like as aggressively, like you get
Hmm.
nothing, you have to buy from me. If they want to do it progressively, I would say take away those print privileges and only allow your clients to print through you. It's a great passive income.
Hmm.
And, over the year, I've seen just so many beautiful changes. Like I was telling you, financial freedom is so close to your fingertips and you don't even realize it. In the last 3 years, working nonstop, I mean, take away COVID because
Sure.
that doesn't count.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
few years prior to that, I made like 11,000. Then I jumped up to like 22. And I think the last year I did this was somewhere in the realm of like $27,000.
Hmm.
I went from making $27,000 working every single day to this year, 8 months. We're 8 months in the year,
Yep,
and
yep.
I've made over $80,000.
Amazing.
I crushed that mark last week, and I was just
Yeah.
blown away because that has like been a goal for a long time. Like make
Hmm.
over 50, make over
Hmm.
75. And now
Hmm.
this year I'm goal to make probably in the realm of 120,000.
Awesome.
Granted, for anybody, kind of like, ooh, easy money. It's not. It's a
It's work.
lot of
It's
work.
hustle. It's grind. It's
It's
learning. It's
so
education.
much
It's
work.
everything.
Yes. And the packing and the shipping and the reveals and
Hmm.
kind of you have all these extra responsibilities.
Hmm.
But I'm not working even half as much as I did before. And I'm
Yeah.
actually having a quality of life. We get to enjoy our life together.
Yeah.
And I get to be home with my kids, which is crazy because I haven't.
Hmm.
And it's it's so beautiful. And I think anybody who has a talent should be serving their clients as best as possible, which in this way, you can serve your clients absolutely luxury quality items and give them a value of service, but you can also serve yourself. And I think that that is so important because as entrepreneurs, we left the typical 9 to 5 so we didn't have to answer to anybody. And now we're a slave to our clients, which it's not supposed to be like that. And it
Yeah,
doesn't have to be like that.
absolutely. Um, one thing with the whole 9 to 5 thing is like, all right, you leave your 9 to 5, you leave your steady salary, you leave your benefits, and then you take on a job, and then you have to pay taxes separately. There are no benefits. There is no retirement plan, and so it's like we need to find new streams of revenue to add to this to invest. And also, it's nice to have time spent with the family. So
Yeah.
like I'd quit my job a couple years ago, and it's just like the most precious thing to me is being able to spend that time with my family.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade this for anything. So that's it's one benefit. In terms of, I guess, like margins, what's profitability like for like albums and metal prints and those kind of things?
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It is amazing because we get to create our own pricing.
sure,
So, pretty much when I first got started, um, one of the, I guess, mentors I took on, he explained it as like a kind of like a rule of thirds. So,
sure,
1/3 covers your cost,
yep,
1/3 covers your time, and the other third is your profit.
sure,
So basically, I would say to anybody trying to even get in the realm of how do I price for this,
hmm,
just remember that one
nice,
third needs to cover your cost, 1/3 needs to cover your time, and the other third is your take home profit. And with
nice,
your time, of course, goes without saying, save your money for your taxes.
absolutely.
That
Pay
whole
your quarterlies.
$120,000, you have to
Yeah, yeah,
remember.
yeah,
I had to spend a lot of that to stay in business.
yeah.
You have to cover your prints and stuff like that, but the profit is amazing and you have so much flexibility into your business. I chose to reinvest almost all of this money back into my business. I renovated my studio. It's beautiful in here. I purchased probably, I don't even want to say it, of around $10,000 into my client closet.
I'd show
Um,
you my shelf over here, but it's all gear. It's the same stuff.
yeah,
So
it's all the
everything's expensive.
same. It's very expensive and it's kind of one of those, it's unrealistic to expect your clients to pay $350 for a gown and to bring multiple options.
Hmm.
So I just found it more logical to purchase them for
Have
for
them
the
on set.
studio and
Yeah,
use them over and over again, and they love it.
awesome.
They love this
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, that's good to have on hand. Um, what's your average, I guess, sale, shoot
My
fee plus print?
my average client is spending anywhere from 500 to 1900 on their prints,
Love it.
which in the realm of IPS, I understand is the lower side of things.
Sure.
Um,
Sounds good to me.
it sounds great, right? It
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah.
I will say things are going to shift over the next year. I don't know if you've been watching at all, but with the Delta variant spike and people not working, all the fees of prints and shipping have skyrocketed.
Yeah. Inflation is getting its hands on everything. Yeah.
So insane. So
Yeah.
shipping went anywhere from like 10 to probably at most $15. I
Sure.
paid $41 for shipping.
There you
That's
go.
not even including the price of the product that
Yeah.
also skyrocketed.
Right.
So these things will be changing slightly. I don't want to do a huge increase again because it
Yeah.
does take time to build your market after that.
For sure.
But it's totally obtainable.
Yeah. How do most of your clients find you? Are you running, active Facebook, Instagram campaigns, or
No.
what's your approach on marketing?
I'm not, I don't do any
No.
advertising like that. I just post on Instagram
There you go.
and um between Instagram and Google, I'm getting anywhere from 10 to 15 inquiries a day.
Wow.
I know, literally, like,
Yeah.
did you see the shock on your
Yeah.
face?
Wow.
When this first started happening,
Yeah.
I opened up my Instagram and I had 30 message requests and 15 active messages. And I'm like, why do I have 45 DMs right now?
Shocking.
Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was like a group chat. And it's
Hmm.
every single person was just like,
Amazing.
how do I book? How do I book? How do I book?
Amazing.
But I do absolutely recommend optimizing your Instagram,
Yep.
Use every single tool they give you because you really do get rewarded when you use it for what it is.
Sure.
And right now, that's a really hot app. I know TikTok is really great too. I've tried TikTok. I just don't see a lot of clients on TikTok.
Hmm.
Um, but it's also because I haven't invested enough time to really use it for what it is.
For sure.
I'm too busy on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. What are your
I,
Instagram secrets? Anything practical we can apply?
oh, all the
Or more?
things. Do all the things. Okay. So I have kind of like my recipe for Instagram that totally works for me.
Okay.
So for stories, you want to try to keep 10 stories a day. I don't post on Sundays. I know that sounds crazy, right? But it
Yep.
doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
have the content. Like
Yeah.
you have the content. You do. I
Absolutely.
don't care if you've taken one picture ever, you have enough to do it.
Yeah.
I tried to take, I know a lot of people starting out, they kind of have it like a personal and business. From a business perspective, don't do that. It's the
Yeah.
harsh truth. I'm going to say what nobody else wants to say. Nobody cares about you. They care about your product.
Absolutely.
And they don't care if you're walking your dog. Nobody
Yeah.
cares. If I'm looking for a photographer, I don't want to know if you're eating tuna for lunch. Like,
Right.
I'm looking for a photographer. And I know that's like completely unpopular opinion. I
Hmm.
don't care. I'll say it. It is what it is. They don't care. Um, you want to keep 10 stories a day. Your stories really need to be engaging, interacting with your clients, posting little sneak peeks, always location tag on it. I like to minimize and hide my location tags,
Hmm.
but they will pop up if anybody's in the area.
Looking for it.
Um, you want to tag everybody you can, which again, I just minimize and hide those.
Yep.
And I tag like makeup, hair, client, dress. Where did I get the dress? So it keeps getting reshared. So your stories will serve your current client base. And anytime they get on there, they're going to see your story, which is why you want to keep 10 sporadic throughout the day so they never forget about you.
Got it.
Your posts on your feed, I know people think that they should post from every single session. That's not
Hmm.
true. Because if I shoot, say, a repeat client family, I don't shoot families. So if I'm posting families, I'm going to attract families. So you only want to post what you attract on your feed or what you aim to attract on your feed. Because when people go to it, that's basically your portfolio.
Absolutely.
So that's going to serve new clients. Then, in order to gain new clients, you want to be using your reels, which I've been so awful at posting lately. I've just been
Yeah.
really busy and traveling, but you should
Yep.
be posting at least 5 reels a week. So 10 stories, 3 grid posts, 5 reels, which
It's
sounds
work.
like a lot of it's work,
Mhm.
but you have to do it. Use your hashtags, use your location tags, use your alt text, use every single thing. And then the cake topper of them all is to try to post at least one IGTV a week. This one's new for me and I'm not great at it. I just go live once a
There
week
you
and
go.
then I post it on there. But that's
That's
not
good.
really serving anybody. It's just kind of to get it on
Hmm.
there. But that's kind of my secret recipe to keep
I
those
like it.
inquiries coming in because you're serving your current client base. You're serving anybody who's just lurking and looking and maybe interested.
Hmm.
You're serving new clients and you're making sure that nobody ever forgets about you.
I like it. One thing just to add to this that I've done with my wedding brand, this works with anything. You want to use or search hashtags that someone in your niche is going to, interact with. And so for me, engaged couples. So someone writes, engaged, hitched. I said yes, bride to be. We'll follow those, and we'll like some photos, and then we'll drop a comment, periodically. And earlier this year, I booked like a 9K package,
I
photo
love
and video. Just trying to make a daily habit of like, all right, I wake up, jump on Instagram for 10 minutes, get through some hashtags, and eventually that turns into leads. Eventually that turns into bookings. I mean, you won't book, one a week, but you'll book a few throughout the year, and it should pay for that time. So
it.
that's one
Absolutely.
way to kind of go on the offensive with it. Anything else you want to leave for the listeners?
I think that, um, just to reiterate what I already said, but if you are at a place where you're working for nothing, just know that that's a choice.
Mm,
And you can do this and it can be profitable and you can have ultimate financial freedom. And once you get it, it's such a beautiful thing because you're not only serving yourself as an artist, but you're serving actual value to your clients. And these are memories that they're going to look back on for years. And you want to make sure, like you said, the prints stand the test of time. So do your research, find some beautiful heirloom items, buy a couple samples, and start offering real value to your clients and serve them the way they deserve to be served.
I like it. One thing with Prince, and just short, is that I think I was listening to Ben Hartley's podcast, but he was talking about like, if you're capturing families or whatever it is, like you're capturing a moment in time. And, if it's a child's expression, like they're not going to look like that in 2 years, 4 years. My wife just showed me a picture of my oldest son and she's like, you remember when you took this photo? And I'm like, oh my God, it seemed like yesterday, but it was like 4 years ago and he's shorter and chunkier. And now he's, about to be 12. And it's like, where did that time go? But
Yeah.
thankfully I have this photo printed on, the side of the fridge, that to just have that there. And so I think we assume that people don't want prints, they don't find value in it, but it's like photographs are incredible. And the more you print, the more you kind of become a believer of print. And so I'm
Absolutely do.
actively trying to do that. And I think people are out there that are starting to print more. So, Alyssa, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your story. Thank you so much. Congrats with all the success in your
Thanks so
business.
much.
I hope next time you go to WPPI, you pick up an award.
I hope so.
'Cause that's
That's
the
cool.
photo that you submitted was amazing.
Thank
For
you.
anyone interested in catching up with you, where can they find you? Your website, social.
So definitely Instagram. I'm always on there. It's Aly Incardona Photography, all just one full spiel there. And then my website is alyincardona.com.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
I'll leave links to the your website, your socials in the YouTube link, in the Anchor FM link. That'll go on like Google, Apple, and everything. I'll try to go through this and I'll try to cut some social snippets.
Sounds great.
I didn't, I guess, introduce you per se. If you want to just do like a quick intro, like, hi, my name's Alyssa, I'll kind of say, hey, why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay.
And you kind of take it from there, and then I'll just cut that back in. So yeah, introduce yourself and tell me what you do.
Hi, I'm Aly Incardona, and I am the Central Valley's premier maternity and boudoir photographer. I offer luxury experience to all of my clients, and I thrive within the studio with high end lighting and providing beautiful prints and products for my clients.
Love it. Okay, cool. I will. I'll take that and cut that in.
Awesome.
Our conversation earlier just kind of flowed so naturally, like I didn't want to stop the momentum there.
Yeah, that's great.
But thank you so much for your time. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. I'll get this ready probably in a week or two.
Yeah, no rush. I can't wait.
Yeah, and then I'll cut some short social snippets. So like you'll be able to post one of these to Instagram TV.
Perfect.
I'll make it like 2 minutes or whatever, and then it'll be vertical. And I'll have your name, your title, those kind of things in like a lower third
Cool.
on that. So thank you so much.
Thank
You in the
you.
studio today?
I am
Yeah.
leaving after this. I
Okay.
rushed over here because my
Ah,
child was here.
gotcha. Gotta love it.
But I am taking the day. I have some recuperating to do from Vegas. It
Yep.
was definitely a long trip, but it
Yeah.
was fun.
Nice.
You know,
And
you
what?
have to have a vacation from your vacation.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're in California, or
Yeah.
where are you? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So
I'm in
Vegas
Central
is
California.
gotcha. Not too far
That
from you, right? Okay. You drove up there.
we drove. Yeah.
Gotcha. Not
I
too bad.
didn't drive.
Chauffeur.
I would have preferred to fly, but I had my
Yeah.
hubby drive out there and he does
Yeah.
great on the long hauls. I'm
That's
not
perfect.
built for
Yeah, I'm
that.
not either. We're talking about a Louisville trip once wedding season wraps up, and I'm like,
Nice.
yeah, we'll split it into like 2 6-hour shifts. So
That's awesome. So you guys are on the
yeah,
East Coast. Where at?
yeah. So I'm an hour from Boston. I'm an
Okay.
hour and 20 minutes from Newport, Rhode Island. It's an hour from Hartford, Connecticut. Everything out
I'm
here is like
shocked
really
you
small.
don't have like a super heavy like Boston accent.
Yeah, no. That's like an hour from me. I got friends who have that, but
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, peace. They're not necessarily out of here, but if you go to Boston, you'll hear it. And I'm out there a lot from, I guess, spring to like November. And then,
Crazy that you can just like, so how does that work as far as your business? Do you like offer for multiple states since they're all so
yeah,
close?
yeah. So like
Yeah.
my wedding brand is New England Wedding Film. So it typically covers everything around here. We do some destination stuff. Last year we did like South Carolina. The year before we did Puerto Rico.
That's so
Um,
great.
yeah, so that's been cool. So I have the wedding brand, then I have a corporate, BM2 Films, which sponsors the podcast. And
Mhm.
I'm really trying to get into either podcast creation for other people or assets like a video business card or video testimonials or
Oh, that's awesome.
all kinds of stuff. We can really do like anything. Like right now, we have a local hockey team.
Mhm.
So they're like it's not the Boston Bruins, but they're junior team, so
Okay.
something like that, and we're working through a bunch of like, you know, different content for them. So we shot interviews, and I'm kind of mixing in B-roll.
That's so great.
So it's good to kind of do wedding videos. We're doing more wedding photography. I'm doing
Your wedding
corporate video
photography is
stuff.
very beautiful.
Thank you. Mainly
I
copying folks like Michael Anthony and other people,
You're
but
doing a
I'm trying to
great
get
job.
better. Yeah,
It
thank you
looks
so much.
really great.
Thank you. So yeah, I don't have a studio, and my wife's starting to shoot like family photos, and I'm like,
Nice.
hey, you can do this. I'll edit all your photos. Your stuff's gonna look great. Like it'll sell itself. So I'm trying to like encourage her to take on family sessions and stuff. Maybe we'll start shooting some maternity stuff, even if
That
it's
would
a
be great
backdrop
too.
from home.
She can second shoot for you.
So yeah, we got a few kids.
Yeah.
So like it's like, all right, wedding days, it's like a 12-hour day. But
Yeah, I get it.
basic maternity shoots or anything like that, like yeah, she's come on some engagement shoots with me. It's a fun date night.
That's so
But
great.
yeah, so that's been good. So just trying to figure it out. Trying to ease my way into print sales,
Do
wall
it.
art. I started
Don't even
using
wait.
Yeah, I started using Enview, which you can print directly from, you can get albums from. So listening to a bunch of Ben Hartley podcasts, getting into these print groups and just trying to like absorb it on like, hey, how can I frame this conversation from the first inquiry of like, hey, we serve people like you, and we provide digitals and we provide prints, but like an emphasis being on prints, whatever it is. So just like continuously framing it as print, print, print. So by the time a reveal comes, if it's over Zoom or we meet somewhere or something, like they're already thinking about prints in mind. So
I will definitely
yeah,
say that Zoom reveals have
not
a
the same.
much lower,
Yeah.
for me anyway, a
Yeah.
much lower
Yeah.
profit in general. I think it's
I bet.
easier for people to say no when they're not sitting in your face,
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah. I was watching Gotham Garage, the Netflix show. They built a custom car and a custom bike to bring to the auction in Arizona. COVID happened, it shut down. They wanted 250 for the pair. Literally a one of one bike, a one of one car that they custom created, and they did a virtual auction. They were hoping to get 250, and they were saying the same thing. They were like, "You need people in the room for the emotions,
You do.
like for the emotions and the
People
excitement."
are
Like,
so
so
excited and
yeah,
they build off your hype, when they walk in and you're like, oh my God, are you excited to see? And they're like,
yeah,
yes, you look so
yeah,
excited. Now I'm
yeah,
even more like, we're
exactly.
ready. And
Yeah, it's
just
this energy
really
thing.
reinstilling that the whole
Yeah,
time. Like, let me show you some samples. Look how beautiful. Do you have any idea of what these look like? Even
yeah,
if you do outdoor shoots, you can take an 8x10 of metal acrylic canvas and regular print and show them
yeah,
the difference.
right.
I love it. You can do it. If I can do it,
Yeah.
literally like shaving my head in public, going from doing that to like
Yeah.
crushing it,
Yeah.
anybody can do it.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love your work too.
Thank you so much.